Giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Kakadash. This is just being a watchman, some of the things that's been going on in the news and some of the things that's being talked about, just spreading the message so our people could kind of hear. But this right here, particular, it's just giving you more insight and more knowledge on the times that we're in and the end times coming. Because when there's talks about, the so-called black people, which we know is Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, when this started to become talks about us leaving America, and that's what I've been seeing a lot. It's a lot of talks about leaving America and what has happened to us in America with the slavery and captivity in America. It just starts to put you in the spirit of the times that we in, and that it's getting close to the end. It's getting very, very, very close to the end, even though no man knows the time or the date. So I'm gonna let this play first, and then I'm gonna give you some insight on it.
Shahid King Bolton proposed a great idea to the Trump administration in regards to his gold card visa program. That's really like a green card, right? It grants permanent residency. Well, Trump is trying to attract wealthy foreigners who want to come over here and live. All they got to do is invest $5 million and they will get the gold visa card. Well, check out what Shahid said.
Trump's so-called gold card program, visa program. You've heard about this? He's offering residency and a path to citizenship for $5 million. This is not an immigration policy, it's a fire sale. Citizenship is just another product on the shelf. I mean, why not tweak that program? Allow Americans to sell their citizenship for $5 million. Now that makes sense. Let struggling Americans get paid and move out of that country with their newfound millions. That's a program I could get behind. Imagine if, for instance, just say 10% of African Americans could sell their citizenship for $5 million each.
Okay, so to answer the question, of course, if something like that was on the table, I'd definitely do it, because salvation isn't just exclusive to America. There's going to be Israelites saved all over the world. You know what I mean? So it's like, a lot of times our people get stuck in this American thing, and you could use the Bible to try to justify it, but in reality it's just people, our people love America. This is the reason why we're still here, and salvation has not happened. It has not came yet. 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, because the people is just not ready. Our people is not looking forward to the Lord coming back. Our people is not moving in that way. And then even the brothers that's in the truth, that's supposed to be the example in the camps. You see all the scandals and stuff going on. These guys are focused on getting money. These guys love America. And some of them, it's just that they're afraid to even leave America or even travel outside America because they love America so much. But things is a slippery slope. And this could be a slippery slope. All you need is, someone like the president to do something like this, and it could change the whole face of the world, But it's just funny to me how when people are talking about citizens and struggling citizens, who's the first citizens to come up when he was mentioning that? Who was the first citizens? Black Americans. So it just goes to show you that these people in the world, these scientists, these scholars, these journalists, these researchers, and just on every level, everybody knows the position that the so-called Black Americans are in America, and people know what happened to us, and people know that it's not just it hasn't been, what's the word, we haven't had any redemption. People know that what happened to us with the transatlantic slavery is wrong, and there's been, I'm on the word slipping me, but there ain't been nothing to make up from that. And people know that to this day. You see what I'm saying? But the question is would you sell your citizenship for $5 million? I mean, it wouldn't even be a second thought. I definitely would. You know what I mean? There's no law, statute, or commandment, right? If he speak not according to his word, there's no life in him. There's no law, statute, commandment that says that you can't move outside of the United States or Babylon. You ready? So it's just posing questions, just a quick video.
That's roughly 5 million new millionaires, $25 trillion between them. I'm just saying African Americans because they have the most obvious reasons for being interested in selling their citizenship, since they don't get much out of it in the first place. But if you offered a program like that in reality, well, I think that you'd see that country empty out. Forget about selling it. If American citizenship is worth $5 million, well, shouldn't we be entitled to a refund? I mean, I don't know about you, but I sure never got $5 million worth of value from my citizenship. Did you?
So as you saw and heard him say, well, why not offer something like that to African Americans, is what he said, but Black Americans, buy their citizenship, since we've not really gotten anything out of being an American citizen in the first place, right? Buy theirs. And he says a lot of people would leave in a heartbeat. He says there'd be a lot.
Yeah, so what I'm seeing is it's kind of like opening the gate, and that gate has been suppressed and closed. Now, biblical prophecy is that Yahweh Shai technically is going to come back and open that gate to free us, to free the slaves. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like they don't want to. Esau's heart is being hardened, just like Pharaoh's heart in Egypt was. But going back to Egypt, our people, how did our people leave the Egyptian captivity? We left. We came together and we did leave with the riches, with the gold. So it's kind of similar, It's just in a modern day type thing. How did we leave Babylon captivity? You say the Babylonians got took down. That caused us to leave, to go back to eventually build the second temple. You got the Persian, the Medes captivity because they had power over things after that. How did we leave any captivity that we was in? We physically left, and even with, you could say with Rome, but this is Rome, the Roman Empire revised. This is Roman Empire deadly wound being healed all over again. You see what I'm saying? But every time we left, and I've been doing a lot of searching too, because I know what I learned coming up in the truth is that don't do anything, just prophesy and wait till the Lord comes back. And we can't do anything because we're under the curses. But it's just so hard to believe it, because it's like King David had a whole kingdom. King Solomon had a whole kingdom. Now, you could say that, well, we got the law, statutes, commandments. We'll say that the law, statutes, commandments been there, and sin has been in the world, and the curses have been in the world since Adam and Eve. But okay, so I'm just trying to still figure that out. Like, okay, so was the curses on people during the time of Adam and Eve, and then the curses kind of got off of us? And then it was a time period, and then clearly we was cursed in Egypt. So that's curses being on the Israelites. We were Israelites before Egypt. So Israelites was a thing before Egypt. We went into the Egyptian captivity. That's because the curses were on us, right? That's a curse. That's a part of the curse, is captivity, right? The Lord led us out of there because during that time we had to return back to our Lord, right? Because clearly, Abraham, Isaac, they knew the Lord, right? And Jacob, Israel. So something happened between that time where the Lord decided to curse us and put us in the Egyptian captivity because we lost our way with the Lord. Then we returned back to the Lord. Then we got the law, statutes, commandments with Moses during Moses' time, right? And then you could say, well, the Lord was on our side that whole time, but the curses had to still be there, right? Because sin was still there, because we got the example of King David sinning. We got the example of King Saul sinning and getting judged, and King David getting judged, and Israel getting judged. And we got those things of during the time of Joshua, the accursed thing that was in the camp, and them being judged because it was something accursed in the camp. So the laws was there. The curses was also there. So what I'm trying to say, I guess, is that the laws and the curses, which is a part of the law, was there during the time of King David, but yet he still had a kingdom with our people and had sovereignty. So I don't no longer feel like that's an excuse to not do anything today. If King David, if the laws and the curses were already there during the time that King David had the kingdom, during the time that Jeroboam, Rehoboam, King Solomon, all the way down to Hezekiah, Zedekiah, Joachim, it's many kings. The law, statutes, and commandments was always there, even during the time they had their kingdom, and that's including the curses was there during the time they had their kingdom. So we can't use the curses for an excuse while we can't go and have sovereignty somewhere. We can't use that as an excuse, right? So even if we did have sovereignty somewhere, that don't mean that we're in the kingdom. That don't mean that the Lord's still not coming back. So I think brothers is in the truth, and they're using the curses as an excuse not to do anything because they love America and they're afraid to leave America, and they're getting that money, that American money, rather than doing anything. We just year after year go by, generation after generation go by, and this is what you see. You know what I mean? And remember, if we talk about law, statutes, commandments, there's no law that say, hey, you guys can't go and build something and have sovereignty. There's no law that says that. So where there's no law, there's no sin. You got commandments of man. You got man in their feelings. You got man worshiping man that may say something or try to spin something, but you just simply ask them. And this is a thing when you're in the truth and you're trying to figure something out. Whether if this man is just telling you or if it's coming from the Lord, you ask him whatever he says to you, you say, is that in the law? And show me where it's at in the law that says that we can't do it. Well, it doesn't necessarily say that you can't do it in a law, but if you understand the prophecies, the major deliverance is going to come from Babylon. Like, that's where it's going to come from. Okay, so where does it say in the law that we can't have sovereignty, that we can't come together and do something to have sovereignty? Well, in history, we tried doing that and it all been destroyed and this and that. And so we just got to wait. Like, come on, man. But now let's just say if this was a thing, this is just theoretical, but this is an actual thing that's coming up though. So that's why we're reporting on it. Now, just imagine you get a couple families to come together of 100 people. My family got way more than 100 people if we all came together. If we had a cookout or a family reunion, it'd be way more than 100 people there. Let's just say 300-400 people. And each one of us is African American, so-called. And each one of us got 5 million. We put all that money together. We'll have, 5 million times 100 is 500 million. So we'll be at $1 billion or a couple billion. You see what I'm saying? We could take that and you could go somewhere and literally do whatever you want to do. But brothers will tell you the truth that if something like this did come around, take that and then do what with it? Just stay in America with it and just live good and get your YouTube channels popping, expand your camp, get better filming equipment, and then just slowly but surely just start to get the money back to Esau and just sit here and wait, right? No, and this is the problem. I feel like the Lord, Hosea 5:15, the Lord is waiting for us to be ready. It's not that we're waiting for the Lord to just come back. No, the Lord is waiting for us. That's why there is no time or no date, because the Lord is waiting for us to get right. The same way that in Egypt, our people had to get right and get to the point where they were going to leave. And then what happens when we were leaving? The Lord assisted us. But that's why the kingdom is inside of us. That means, I always wonder, what does that mean? I'm like, wait, the kingdom is a physical place on earth. The Lord is going to take us there. So why even say something like the kingdom is inside of us? Like, what does that mean? I always battled with that. But now I got it. The understanding is that, look, when you say the kingdom is inside of you, it's meaning that, no, y'all, the Israelites, y'all are the ones that make up the kingdom. When y'all come together and build the kingdom, that's the kingdom. Just like it was during the time of King David, just like it was during the time of King Solomon. We make up the kingdom. We have to go. When it says in Daniel that the saints of the Most High shall take it, we have to take it. We have to do it. The Lord is going to be there to assist us. But I think brothers in the truth got it mixed up. They got it like, well, we don't do anything and we're assisting the Lord and the Lord is going to take us to the kingdom. That's not what's going on. It's the opposite. We have to manifest and do this, and the Lord is going to assist and help us in doing it. With that, I'm going to say salvation to the elect. Shalom.